Okay, today we discuss about the case study problem based on capital gain. Okay, you see this problem. This is a case study problem related with capital gains. Mr. Ramlal of Pune gives the following information related to his capital assets sold during the previous year, 1920. Okay, in the year 1920. So the cost of acquisition of the asset is 8,88,000. Cost is 8,88,000. It comes for calculation of capital gain. And year of acquisition is 2009 and 10. Year of acquisition is 2009 and 10. Therefore, you have to calculate index cost of acquisition if it is a long-term capital asset. And next is improvement cost is there 24,000. Sorry, 2,40,000. 2,40,000 is the improvement cost, and the year of improvement is 2014-15. Okay, this is also related with long term. Then sale year is 2019-20. Sale proceeds is 35,75,500. Selling expenses rupees 12,500. Okay, this is the asset. In the heading, they have not mentioned the nature of asset or the name of asset. Okay. And in this problem, there is a full value of consideration. Sale is there. Sale value is there. And secondly, selling expenses is there. And third, cost of acquisition. Fourth, cost of improvement. These points are given for you people. And in the adjustment, they say that he purchased a new residential house. He purchased a new residential new. I think here new residential house. House is not recorded. You remember residential house for rupees 10 lakh. He purchased for rupees 10 lakh. Okay, and this is the deduction coming under capital gains. This is the deduction coming under capital gain. Cost inflation indexes are given for you people for application. Okay. Then in the case study, they asked 3 questions and I added one more question, that is the fourth question. They asked 3 questions. For that, I added one more question, that is if capital asset sold is a agriculture land. Okay, agriculture land situated in rural area. Agriculture land, purely agriculture land. Remember this. Okay, so the questions are whatever capital, compute the capital gain for the assessment year 2020-21. If the capital asset sold is a residential house. First point is whatever asset explained above. Whatever asset explained above, that asset is a residential house. If it is a residential house, what is the capital gain? This is the first question. So you take the full value of consideration regarding first question, less selling expense. Thereafter, you deduct two items. One is cost, index cost of acquisition. Second is index cost of improvement. You will get the gross long-term capital gain. In that gross long-term capital gain, you give deduction under section 54. Asset sold is residential house and new residential house is acquired. Therefore, 54 deduction is applicable. So you deduct 1 lakh rupee. You deduct 1 lakh rupee, whatever balance remains, that balance is called as capital gain on residential house. Capital gain on residential house. First question completes. Okay. and you forget the first question, take the next question. The second question is the capital asset sold is a jewelry. Capital asset sold is a jewelry. Then you consider the above asset as a jewelry. And again you calculate, you take the 5 points. Full value of consideration, selling expenses, index cost of acquisition, index cost of improvement. Okay, 4 points you take. After taking these 4 points, you will get gross capital gain. Gross capital gain. And thereafter, you consider the purchase of new residential house. Purchase of new residential. Suppose you purchase a new residential house by selling the jewelry. By selling the jewelry, that comes under 54F. Deduction under section 54F. Remember this. ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಅಸೆಟ್ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರ ರೆಸಿಡೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಏನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ತೆಗಿರಿ. ಒಂದನೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಎರಡನೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಜ್ಯುವೆಲರಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಮಾರಿದ್ದ, ಆ ಜ್ಯುವೆಲರಿ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಆನ್ಸರ್ ತೆಗಿರಿ. ಆ ನಂತರ ಡಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಯಾವ ಬರ್ತೈತಿದ್ರ 54F ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರ ಜ್ಯುವೆಲರಿ ಮಾರಿ ಮನಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ, ಜ್ಯುವೆಲರಿ ಮಾರಿ ಮನಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇದು 54F ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ. ಒಂದನೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ 54 ಆಗ್ತತಿ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ 54F ಆಗ್ತತಿ. ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ. ಓಕೆ, then come to the third question. First question, second question completed. In the first question and second question, you have to calculate same way, and only changes deduction, exemption changes, and other things remain same. And come to the third question. If the asset sold is listed debenture, if the asset sold is listed debenture, then you have to calculate capital gain. Okay, long-term capital gain. Asset is a long-term capital asset. You see the asset is a long-term asset because it is purchased and held for more than 36 months. It is held for more than 36 months. Therefore, it is a capital asset, long-term capital asset. And you consider this asset as a listed debenture. If it is a listed debenture, you calculate capital gain. In the listed debenture, will you take the full value of consideration less the selling expenses, then you will get the net consideration. In the net consideration, you have to deduct index cost of acquisition or cost of acquisition. Anyone tell me? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಐತಿ. ಇದು ನೀವು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಲಿಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮಾರಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು.
ಮಾಡಬೇಕು,
ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು.
ನೋ ಸರ್.
ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತೀರಿ, ಒಬ್ರು ನೋ ಅಂತೀರಿ, ನಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ?
Index is not applicable to debentures and bonds.
Index is not applicable to debentures and bonds. I think you read the theory. Okay, thank you. So here index is not applicable. Remember this point. First question, index is applicable. Second question, index is applicable. For third question, index is not applicable. Okay. Third question, index is not applicable. Remember this point. Clear? Then come to the fourth question. If the capital asset sold is agriculture land, if that agriculture land, whatever asset sold is there, the cost of acquisition is there, improvement is there, sale value is there, selling expenses are there. All this information is related to it, agriculture land. That what happens? Yes, come on, tell me. Fourth question. How to calculate capital gain on this asset sold? Cost of asset is 8,88,000, sale value is there, selling expense is there, improvement cost is there. Then if you ask to calculate this asset is a agriculture land. This asset is agricultural land. How you calculate capital gain? Yes, anybody? ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ?
Sir, it will be like B option.
B option.
It's other assets sold and invested in residential house.
Residential house. I agree with your statement. And you say that you calculate capital gain and gross capital gain, and you are informing me to give deduction under section 54F. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I will give as per your assumption, but theory part, in the theory, what are the assets not considered as capital asset? Have you studied them or not? The assets not considered as capital asset.
Yes, sir.
Agriculture land is not considered as a capital asset. Remember
Yes,
this.
sir.
Whenever it is not considered as a capital asset, then you don't calculate capital gain. And we calculate land. Okay, we calculate the capital gain on land situated in urban area. Remember this point. If the land is situated in urban area, you calculate. Okay. But if the land is agriculture land in the rural area or purely agriculture land, that is exempted from tax. Don't get
Yes,
it
sir.
confused. Okay. So you see 4 answers. Any doubt about these questions? First, you consider this asset as residential house. First, you consider residential house. Second, you consider this as a jewelry. And third, you consider as a listed debenture. And fourth, agriculture land. Clear? You see the solution. So the full value of consideration is 35 lakh something is it. Okay, 35 lakh 75,500. You deduct selling expense. This is the full net consideration. In the net consideration, you deduct index cost. Index cost is like this. Then cost of improvement is indexed. This is the index cost of improvement. And there is no advance. Then you take the total of the inner column, go to the column, then deduct in the outer column. If you deduct in the outer column, gross capital gain is 1,54,000. Gross capital gain is 1,54,000. If you consider this asset is a residential house, then you give deduction under section 54, not 54F. Sorry. You give deduction under section 54. Residential house sold, residential house acquired. Cost of new residential house, 1 lakh rupee. You deduct 1 lakh rupee, sorry, 10 lakh rupees. Then balance is 5,40,000. 5,40,000 is called as net capital gain. This is the answer for the first question. Then if you consider this asset is a jewelry, second question. If the capital asset is a jewelry, what happens? Again, you calculate the capital gain. Full value of consideration, you deduct the selling expense. And third, you take the index cost of acquisition, next index cost of improvement. Okay, you take the total to the outer column. Then again, capital gain is 1,54,000. Here also, gross capital gain is 1,54,000. Gross capital gain is 1,54,000. But deduction changes. The deduction changes because he sold the jewelry and acquired the residential house. Residential house. Therefore, it comes under the 54F. So, investment is 10 lakh rupee in the residential house divided by net consideration 35,63,000 into 1,54,000. This is the equation you apply for second question. So here the deduction changes. 4,32,220 is the deduction, nearly, not exactly. Okay, you deduct it, and whatever balance remains, that is the net capital gain. This is the net capital gain. Clear? This is the second question answer. Then come to the third question. The third question is, the capital asset sold is a listed debenture. If it is listed debenture, what happens? Full value of consideration is 35,75,500. Then expenses incurred is 12,500. Net consideration 35,63,000. And in that, here also cost of acquisition you have to deduct instead of index cost. Index is not applicable here. Cost of improvement is 2,40,000. Cost of acquisition is 8,88,000. Advance is not there. So total is 11,28,000. 11,28,000. 11,20,000 is 28,000 is the total cost. You deduct it, then 24,35,000. 24,35,000 is the gross capital gain. Gross capital gain. And in that gross capital gain, you give deduction under section 54F. So under 54F, 1 lakh is the investment. Sorry, 10 lakh is the investment. 10 lakh is the investment. You divide by net consideration and multiplied by gross capital gain. Gross capital gain is 24,35,000. If you deduct, calculated and deducted, the allowable exemption is 6,43,812 nearly. Okay. Then taxable or net long-term capital gain is 17,51,588. This is the capital gain under the third question answer. Okay, this is the third question answer. Then come to the fourth question. Fourth question is, if the capital gain, capital asset sold is agriculture land. Agriculture land. So gain on agriculture land is exempted from tax. This is the answer. Okay. Then come to the conclusion. Why the capital gain differ from one method to another method or one consideration to another consideration? That is the question. The change of capital gain takes place because of the application of changing rules of income tax. Because of changing rules and norms. Because of changing rules and norms, there is a change in the long-term capital gain. You write this much only. The conclusion is the amount of taxable capital gain, the amount of taxable capital gain changed because changed from one case to another because of changing provisions of income tax. Because of changing provisions of income tax. In first case, 54F is given. In second and third case, 54F is given in third and fourth case. First case, 54 is given. And in case of listed debenture, index is not calculated. These are the reasons for change in the long-term capital gain. This is the answer. So this is one case study for you people. And second case study you see there. ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಈ ಟೈಪ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ನೀವು 3 ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ 3 ರೀತಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕು ठीक ಅದು ಒನ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು and another case study is Mr. Janakinath purchased a residential house. Mr. Janakinath purchased a house in the year 1975 for rupees 1 lakh. He purchased for rupees 1 lakh and also made the following additions to the house. First is The first is 20,000 cost, 2-room cost 1976. Then first floor cost 5 lakh rupee in the year 1989. And thereafter 30,000 in the year April 2001, 2 bathrooms. Okay, these are the improvements. Cost of acquisition is 1 lakh in the year 1975. In the year 1975, he purchased, and in the year 1976, 20,000 spent for 2 bathroom, and in the year 1989, he spent rupees 5 lakh for first floor. And in the 2001 April, 2 bathrooms again he constructed. 2 bathrooms in the year 2001, and in 1976, 2 rooms constructed. Sorry. Okay. Out of these adjustments, only one adjustment is considered as cost of improvement. The first 2 adjustments are not considered as cost of improvement. Remember this, because 1976 and 1989 are before 1/4/2001. Before 1/4/2001, improvement cost will be ignored. Remember this. Okay. Then he sold the above house for rupees 4,98,100. Fair market value of the house is 1,80,000. Index cost is given for you people. Okay, this is the problem. In this problem, cost of acquisition is 1 lakh, fair market value is 1,80,000. And the cost of improvement is 30,000 only. Remaining 2 are eliminated, not considered. And full value of consideration is 4,98,000. 3 points are there only. What a more point is out there. When the full value of consideration is there, index cost of acquisition calculate ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಮೂರನೇದು ಯಾವುದು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್. 3 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮುಗಿತೈತಿ. 3 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇದಾವ ಅಷ್ಟ. ಫುಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ದಾಗ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕ್ವಿಸಿಷನ್, ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಳೆದ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಗೇನ್ ಬರ್ತದ. ಈ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಕೇಳಿದನ. ದಿ ಕೇಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಈಸ್ you are required to advise the assessee as to which course is beneficial, which is beneficial to the assessee, to him, between the following. Where he should not opt for the fair market value, he should opt for the fair market value. These are the 2 questions. ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾವ ಕ್ವಶನ್. ನೀವು ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಡ್ವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ನಿಮ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದು ಫೇರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಹಿಡಿಯಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋ ಏನು ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರು? ಫೇರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಹಿಡಿದು ಮಾಡು ಅಥವಾ ಹಿಡಿದು ಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರು? ಫೇರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನ ಒಪ್ಪಿಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಕ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಂತಿರ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಸೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ. ಫೇರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನ ಒಪ್ಪದೆ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಅಸೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ which is beneficial to the assessee. Okay. For this question, you advise the assessee. You advise the assessee regarding this question. Cost of acquisition or fair market value, whichever is more, is to be considered as cost of acquisition. Actual cost or fair market value, whichever is more, is to be considered for calculation of capital gain, and that is beneficial to the assessee. That is beneficial to the assessee. Remember this. This is the answer. ಸರಿ, ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. ನೀವು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಫೇರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಥವಾ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೆಚ್ಚೈತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೂ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಆದ್ರ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ತಗೋತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ನೀವು ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಫೇರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ತಗೊಳ್ರಿ. ಆದ್ರ ಅಸೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರ ಅಸೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೆಚ್ಚೈತಿ ಅದನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. whichever is more is considered for as a cost of acquisition. Actual cost or fair market value, whichever is more you consider as cost of acquisition, that will reduce the total income. If the total income reduces, automatically the burden of tax also reduces. The burden of tax also reduces. Therefore, you consider the actual cost or fair market value, whichever is more. This is the answer. And you see the solution. You see the solution. In the first case, you calculate the capital gain. You calculate the capital gain not up for the fair market value. Means you don't consider the fair market value. In first case, you don't consider the fair market value. You take the cost and calculate the capital gain in the first case. In the second question or second suggestion, you consider the fair market value and calculate the capital gain. Okay, you see here. He should not opt for fair market value. He should not opt for fair market value means he will not accept the fair market value. He calculate the capital gain based on cost, based on actual cost. If you calculate capital gain based on actual cost, what happens? You see here. Full value of consideration you take, index cost of acquisition, 1 lakh into 289 divided by 100. 1 lakh is the cost of acquisition, not fair market value. I have not agreed with the fair market value. I considered the cost. Okay, I consider the cost. On fair market value, full on the bit biಡ್ರಿ cost ಇರೋದು calculate ಮಾಡಿ. Cost ಇರೋದು calculate ಮಾಡಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತತಿ? 2,89,000 is the index cost of acquisition. Then index cost of improvement. 30,000 is the cost of improvement into 289 divided by 100. It is also in the year of 2001. Therefore, base is same. 86,700. Advance is not there. You take the total to the outer column and deduct it. Then what is the capital gain? 1,22,400 is the capital gain. 1,22,400 is the capital gain. It is the net one, not gross. By mistake, I taken it is a gross. Okay, it is net capital gain. ಈಗ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಅವ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 1,22,400 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. 1,22,400 ಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ನು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಬೇಕು 20%. ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊ 20% or 10% ಅವ್ನು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಬೇಕಾಗ್ತೈತಿ. ठीक 20% ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಿದಂದ್ರ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಬೇಕಂತ ಆಸೆ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು. ಅವ್ನು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನುಕ್ಸಾನ್ದಾಗ ಐತಿ, ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಆಸೆ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. 1,22,400 ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ he should opt for fair market value. Fair market value ಒಪ್ಪಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? If you consider the fair market value, full value of consideration is this one. Then index cost of acquisition, 1,80,000 is the fair market value. In this case, I considered fair market value. First case, cost. It is the fair market value. Okay, fair market value is taken into consideration. Cost is 5,20,200. The next index cost of improvement is 86,700. Total cost is 6,06,900. If you deduct 6,06,900, then there is a 1,08,800 is the capital loss, long-term capital loss. This capital loss can be adjusted with the other capital gain. You can adjust this capital loss with the other capital gains and reduce your income. You reduce your income and reduce your tax burden. This is beneficial to the assessee. Remember this. If automatically total income reduces, the tax burden will reduce. Therefore, It is advised to assessee to consider whichever is more. Whichever is more. He is to consider the cost, actual cost of the asset or fair market value, whichever is more as cost of acquisition. Then that is the beneficial to the assessee. Write this answer. Okay. This is the answer. Na baradilla ನೀವು ಬರೀರಿ ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್. The assessee is to select actual cost or fair market value, whichever is more as cost of acquisition. This will reduce the total income of the assessee. By reducing the total income, the assessee can reduce the tax burden. This is the answer. Na ಏನು ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದನು ಇದನ್ನು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಬರ್ಕೋರಿ. ನಾ ಇದಕ್ಕೇನು ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಕೆಳಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರಿಬೇಕಿದೆ. ठीक है. And this is the end of the capital gain. ಇವೆರಡು ಟೈಪ್ ನೀವು ಕೇಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. ಇನ್ನ ಕೇಸ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಇದಾವು ಅವ್ನು ಬಿಡಿಸ್ರಿ, ಬರೋದಕ್ಕ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ. ಯಾವ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕ ಕೇಳ್ರಿ.